Gracias por venir aquí. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
So let me just start with you, Jessica. I was on vacation for the last week, and then I went home Sunday. It was a beautiful afternoon, and then they sent me the link to the movie. And then my weekend changed completely.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it is not a horror film, and you want to make sure that it's not being called a horror film.
Yes.
It's a gothic romance. So what's the difference?
I think this movie is a throwback to the way movies used to be made. You know, when they built the sets and the how grand Hollywood used to be, and you know, when you think of The Innocents and you know, films like Rebecca, it's got that type of quality to it.
Did you feel that the house was was the star of the movie at some point?
Definitely well, for me, the Guillermo's the star of the film, and then maybe the house comes a close second.
We're almost the same size.
Stop it. I had seen it in different stages. I saw it right when it first was being built, so I went to the Toronto Film Festival. And then when I showed up when we were actually filming, it was really special. In all of my films, I've never been on a set so grand and so exquisite. And also my character Lucille is very closely tied to the house. So all the details and the costumes of what Lucille, it's almost like she can come out of the walls and disappear back into the walls.
You could have chosen Edith, right? But you chose Lucille at the end. Is that how it worked?
Yes.
You had the opportunity to be Edith.
I read it and I called him up and I just loved the character of Lucille so much, and I never played a character like that. So you know, I was like, please, Guillermo. And I think
what was that about
you
the
know,
film that you
my
liked so
heart
much?
really broke for her. And sometimes when a person does terrible things, you have to ask why. I think we're all connected and we're all responsible for the actions of people. And so I wanted to know why she does these things. And I wanted to understand the loneliness and the rejection and all the elements that she feels. But it actually goes to show how big this man's imagination is, because most directors, they wouldn't cast me as a character like that.
Why not?
Now they will.
Now they will. I think she's just very different from me. I don't really I'm not in the darkness that Lucille is, and actually I've never played.
Now you are, right?
No, I'm still fighting. I don't want anything. I don't want any part of Lucille. Usually when I leave a film, they say, "Okay, is there anything you'd like to take with you?" And I thought, "Oh, I'll take this or that." Lucille's the one character I'm like, "Nope, I'm good."
They're dying. They take their heat from the sun, and when it deserts them, they die.
So it's not the kind of film where you think, okay, we just want people to feel uncomfortable and we're going to scare you and we're going to creep you out a little bit. And no. This is, all the darkness is actually based in some way or another in goodness.
Do you have nightmares when you're doing a movie like this? I mean, because I'm a few days after watching the movie, I still have those images with me. I'm not going to say which ones, but those images are still with me, even though I feel like a little boy. I want to get rid of those feelings. I want to get rid of the fear, but I can't. How's in your case?
You know, I didn't really have nightmares making the film, but I felt really sad and really depressed when making the film, because you know, when you're playing a character that is so different from you, you have to do whatever you can to hold on to that and to make it as real as possible. And so it took a lot of energy out of me.
Is there a problem in Hollywood with female characters? You said that it is our responsibility to bring up the lack of diversity in the industry.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Oh, I think it goes even beyond female characters. I just think there's a lack of diversity, period, in Hollywood. First of all, I love this genre, and a major part of the reason I love this genre is because the incredible roles given to women. The stakes are usually very high, that you know, a range of emotions. In this film, our lead character is allowed to be a sexual being, and she's not punished for it. There's really this modern feel for this film, even though it is a gothic romance. It's kind of a throwback.
But I wanted to go beyond the movie. In Hollywood, what's the problem with female characters, with strong female characters? You don't find enough of them?
Well, I do.
Yeah,
like for me, I'm very lucky. But as an audience member, no. I love going to the movies, and you know, we're half the population, and yet we're, you know, less than 10% of lead characters, protagonists in Hollywood films. I think that's a huge problem.
In terms of money, female characters get paid as much as male
Well,
characters?
this was one of the reasons why the movie took 9 years to finance.
Why?
Because it was female centric. And I have had projects where expressly the studio says, this is the limit of your budget because it's a female character. And I still keep writing them. I don't care.
So tell me a little bit more about that. Go ahead.
Also, I'd like to say, I'm this is the first time I'm saying this, I might get in trouble, but as an actress, you always feel like there's a huge wage gap. And you always feel like you never are really getting paid what is fair. And this is the first time I've done a movie where the director actually paid me what my agent and everyone said was fair. And he actually went to bat for me. I mean, Guillermo is really...
In Hollywood still, even if the female and male character are doing more or less the same thing, male characters get much more money?
Yes, first of all, but second is, it goes to the point where some of the financing, at the root of the financing, people evaluate it like that. I can tell you Gravity, Alfonso's movie, I cannot tell you how many times he had the conversation where people were saying, make it a male guy, make it an astronaut, a male astronaut. And he said, no. And it was because she lost her child. And he said, a man losing a child is not nearly as complex, intimate, and powerful as a woman losing a child. But these are gaps that if you commit to the movie, you commit to the movie for what it is.
One more question. Are you following the presidential campaign?
Oh, yes.
Talking about the lack of diversity, I was counting. There were, at some point, 22 candidates, only 2 women, Connie Fiorina and Hillary Clinton. So you're following the campaign, or? Yeah,
I'm following the campaign, but I haven't come out and given support to anyone politically yet. It makes me happy to know that there are female candidates, but I think women. Yeah, absolutely. It's time for a woman. It was time for women in the White House years and years ago. Also, it's time for a Latino in the White House, and it's just across the board. The United States needs more diversity in the majority of our industries, and I think there's a generation coming forward that is really demanding it. There's a huge group of young people going to the movies, and they want to see stories that represent them and their friends. And we've not done a great job doing that.
Thank you both.
Thank you.
Gracias.